Welcome back to Hornet Nation. I'm Dan Schantz.
And I'm Hunter Staples. On this episode, we'll be focusing on the seniors of Saline, including an interview with class president Robbie Felton. We'll sit down with senior Olivia Darmos and her parents, as well as take a look at the girls lacrosse team in this week's Game of the Week. And finally, an Inside the Game featuring relay star Brandon Boyd. Let's get into it.
Track has a lot of running, and one would assume that's an individual sport. However, there are team runs in track. Spencer Burgess takes us into what relays are all about.
The relay is one of the most exciting events track athletes compete in. While the passing of the baton may seem effortless, more thought and strategizing goes into it than you may think. Brandon Boyd, a senior on the team, runs in the 4x100 and the 4x200.
So the 4x1, each person runs 100 meters. So 4 people, 100 meters. Same for the 4x2, each person runs 200 meters.
Throughout the different events, the baton exchange varies.
You have the blind exchange where you don't turn around and you just stick your hand out and you have to trust that the person's there. And that's usually for the 4x1 and the 4x2. And the 4x4 and the 4x8, you turn around and you look to get the baton just to make sure, because they're dead and they're tired. So
even the way the baton is passed can vary. Each method is distinct to the runner.
Up sweep is when you're running and you sweep your hand up to give the person the baton. So the person's holding their hand down and you sweep it up to meet it at the bottom of their hand. A down sweep is when they're holding it up and you come down, which you usually don't want to do. And then pushing it is just the standard, like you're running and you push it in.
With so much variability, such as narrow lanes and crowded exchange zones, the runners face a lot of uncertainty with each pass of the baton.
When you're running full speed and their person behind you is getting really tired, you have to trust that they're going to be there to get it to you, or else you're just going to run out of the zone and get disqualified for the race.
The frequent changes and dynamic nature of the relays make them one of the most exciting events to watch.
It definitely gets more competitive during the relays because it's a team concept during that. So like the 4x4 for the Golden Triangle, when all of the athletes line the track and cheer you on as you're running past, that's definitely one of the highlights of the relays.
Thanks, Brandon. This has been Spencer Burgess reporting for Hornet Nation. Back to you in the studio.
The girls lacrosse team faced off against Dexter last Wednesday. Matthew Adel takes us back to cover up the matches.
But before we get into this package, since this is the senior edition of Hornet Nation, we're going to be trying to jam as many seniors into the show as possible. So after this segment, we will be replaced by Lexi Morris and Hallie Fox. Thanks for a great year, Hornets, and enjoy this week's Game of the Week.
After losing a close one to Ann Arbor Huron 2 days earlier, the girls lacrosse team looked to bounce back against Dexter on May 10th. During warm-up, backup goalie Rebecca Caswell took a practice shot off the face mask and wasn't able to start due to a concussion. With first-string goalie Madison Seidlich already on the sidelines with a concussion, Saline turned to Katie Jacobson, who has not played the position in 2 years. Saline got off to a quick lead, with Abby Morton scoring less than 30 seconds into the game. Dexter didn't wait long to respond as they evened the score with a goal only 20 seconds later. 2 more goals for the Hornets by Quinn Alexis and Kaylee Riggs gave them a 3-1 lead. Dexter snuck 2 more goals by Jacobson to tie the game before Abby Morton's second goal of the night gave Saline the lead back, 4-3. Morton would go on to score 2 more goals as the teams went back and forth for the majority of the half. Dexter scored 3 goals in a row to close out the half and give them a 9-7 lead going into halftime. Jacobson was replaced in goal by Eva Dorleg, a JV defenseman and field hockey goalie. Both teams scored a goal in the first minute of play, with Quinn Alexis netting a goal for Saline. The Hornets started a comeback when Emily Hill netted a goal with 15:38 left in the half to make the score 10-9 Dexter. Dexter would close out the game strong with 4 goals in a row, winning by a final score of 14-9. After the game, we caught up with senior Abby Morton, who talked about the importance of basics for Saline.
I think overall we can make sure we keep up our passing, our catching, just the basics. Go back to the basics. Basics wins game.
First-time goalie Eva Dorleg was key in keeping the game close for the Hornets. finishing the game with 7 saves. I'm Matthew Adel. Back to you in the studio.
Hey guys, I'm Hallie Fox.
And I'm Lexi Morris.
The team has since played Dexter, losing 14-9, and Novi, losing 12-10.
Cheer on the team next Friday at the regionals in Plymouth.
Now let's take a look at some current scores. The boys baseball team played a doubleheader against Skyline this Monday. They won the first game 9-0, with senior Ted Eppinga hitting a home run and driving in 5 runs. They also won the second game, scoring 4 to Skyline's 1. Winning pitcher Danny Wiedmeyer pitched 6 2/3 innings, only giving up 1 unearned run.
The softball team also faced off against Skyline in a doubleheader on Monday. They also won both games, the first 8-7, the second 16-3. During the first game, Brooke Bauer had a home run and 2 RBIs. During the second game, Emily Baldus pitched 6 strikeouts and went 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs at the plate.
Robbie Felton is a well-known student at Saline High.
He is not only known for being the senior class president, but also for being a major athlete on the football field and in track. We sat down with Robbie to talk about his experience at SHS and to see how he plans to continue in the next 4 years.
After this segment, we will be replaced by Josh Sirota and Collin Williams. Thanks for letting us newbies take a crack at reporting. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Robbie Felton, the senior class president and a 2-sport athlete, has certainly left his indelible mark on Saline High School in his 4 years here. We sat down with Robbie to ask him about his high school career, both athletic and student-oriented.
I've always wanted to be the senior class president ever since elementary school. So when I decided to run for the first time in 8th grade, it just felt right after I won, so I just kept running every year. And it's always been my dream to give the speech at graduation. Senior year, football season came around. We were all excited. We were pretty confident that we'd have a chance to make it to the state championship, but then we lost to Cass Tech. Next was indoor track, and I beat my old 60-meter school record. And now I'm going for the 100-meter record. And I think I'm 3rd all-time right now, but I've only raced once. And I'm pretty confident that we have a chance to win this state championship.
We also asked Robbie to describe some of the life lessons that he learned in his time here at Saline.
Teamwork, definitely discipline, because we have a lot of good coaches that like to instill discipline. And I've learned really perseverance and hard work.
Robbie will be attending Brown University in the fall to play football and major in biology and public policy. We would like to wish Robbie good luck in his future endeavors. We know you will do great things. Signing off for Hornet Nation, I'm Nathan Stearns.
Hello, Saline. I'm Josh Sirota.
And I'm Collin Williams.
Thanks for sitting down and telling us about your achievements as a senior, Robbie.
Best of luck at Brown University.
And now we sit down with Olivia Darmos and her parents to get a take on what it's like to have a high-achieving athlete and student as a daughter.
Coming to the end of her senior year, multi-sport athlete Olivia Darmos has seen plenty of success in her high school career, including being selected to the first-team All-State softball team her junior year. We sat down with her and her parents to talk about how she started sports and how sports had affected her and her parents.
When she was, 4 or 5 years old, she started out soccer, and then we went into baseball. And the first time she played soccer, she held hands with the other girl and stood in the goal the whole time. So she started paying a little more attention as we went. And then, we would always throw the ball around the house, and she always had a good arm. So when she was playing t-ball and those things, she was competing with all the boys and all the better boys. And finally, when we broke off and went into softball.
I think it means the world to me, whether they're there at games or not, like just knowing that they're there and they have my back. Like it almost feels empty when they're not there, and I don't, like if I make a bad play or something and I just happen to glance over and they're not there, like that affects me like mentally, I guess.
It's been a joy to watch her throughout her career, coming all the way up and just getting better at each level. And it was a lot of time we got to spend together, whether it was driving to games or tournaments or things like that. So it was to see her grow behind the scenes and then to see her grow on the fields or on the courts. That was my favorite part of all the sports. It's the behind the scenes, hanging out after games and all the interactions with the other players and parents and things like that are the most memorable.
I think sports have just overall made me the person I am today. Just like being able to work with teammates and work with coaches and see the bigger picture of things instead of worrying about like the little details. And also like mentally and physically, like, you know, it's always there, so you're always having to like overcome challenges and that sort of thing.
And as parents, we're obviously extremely proud of her. But I think it comes down to Olivia gets treated at the house like the other two kids. She still has chores. She still does, you know, what she needs to do. We're always there to support her. You know, every game we can make, we try making. But yeah, we're really proud of her.
We look forward to seeing Olivia continue her athletic career into college, and we wish her the best of luck moving forward. I'm James Donath. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you to not only Mr. and Mrs. Darmos, but to all SHS athletic parents for supporting our players.
Well, that's all the time we have for this show. Tune in next week for our annual junior show on May 26th, and make sure to follow us on Twitter.
Thank you all for tuning in for our 2017 senior show, and from all the seniors here at Hornet Nation.
Have a great weekend, Hornets!
Ink.